a lifestyle brand that certain people wanted to hijack. Think about that. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and that you had a great week. To all of my house guests, come in, make yourselves at home, make yourselves comfortable. If you're passing by and you'd like to become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I'm Chez, this is Chez M0i. Welcome to my place. Okay, very quickly guys, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you who wished me well, wished me better, because as you know, I wasn't feeling great last week. I'm fighting fit now. I'm 100% ready to go. Thank you so much once again for taking the time to leave so many nice messages. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Pretzel Logic is an album by one of my absolutely all-time favourite bands, Steely Dan. As a child in the 70s, I always used to hear the first song, Ricky Don't Lose That Number, on the radio, and that ultimately became my favourite track. As I grew older, I always wondered why they gave that album such a weird name. Here's what it means. According to dictionary.com, pretzel logic is used to describe inconsistent, illogical thinking that, once scrutinized, doesn't stand up. It's similar to the term illogic. I think it's fair to say that the logic I've witnessed this week is definitely just as twisted as a pretzel. It would seem that since members of the UK tabloid media were denied access to Harry's recent fundraising polo event in Florida, they've doubled down on pushing out toxic stories about the Sussexes, again demonstrating that these sharks really do have to rely on Harry and Meghan to make a living. This is underscored by the fact that the UK media can't report on the taxpayer-funded royals in this country because they've practically disappeared, and, as we all know by now, the media are not permitted to report negatively on the slimmed-down monarchy. This week, the tabloid media lost their minds because documentation received by Companies House in relation to Travelist Limited, a travel company 75% owned by Harry, stated his residence in the US.
First up though, let's start with Prince Harry making a lot of the front pages this morning after officially registering himself as an American resident. Well, that's where he lives. Royal editor Russell Myers joins me now. A lot of people are saying that he's kind of cut ties with the UK, but America is where he lives. It's where his wife lives, and I think the youngest baby was born there.
Well, you're quite right, Lorraine. Good morning. Well, interesting couple of days for the House of Sussex. Never a dull moment. First of all, we had Meghan launching her jam range during the week, and then we had Harry back to work, as it were, on a Zoom call for his company Travelist, a sustainability travel company he set up in 2019. But overnight, we've realised that he has changed the details on his company house profile to change his residency from the UK to the US. And the reason why this is significant, because if you look at these documents and the date of the 29th of June, where he says he took up residency in the US, is when he was pretty much asked to leave his Frogmore Cottage house along with Meghan and the family. So is this the clearest indication that Harry won't be coming back to the UK in any form? Very interesting situation.
It really is. Can you not have dual citizenship, though? And would the kids have that? I don't really know how it works.
Well, he might well do, because he was discussing on an American chat show recently about how he's considered taking citizenship. He said he's very happy in the States. Why wouldn't he be? Beautiful weather in California. Meghan's business is hopefully going from strength to strength, and we've got Harry working with Netflix and this travel company. So, listen, I think we might see him back in the future, but never say never.
Exactly. Thank you, Russell. Thank you very much indeed for that.
Consequently, the usual suspects went as far as to question Harry's Britishness. A few questions I ask from time to time, to which I can never seem to get answers, are: why are foreigners that legally come to settle in Britain called immigrants, while Britons that go to legally settle in foreign countries are called expats? Is there a difference in the respective migration processes that force this distinction? And for Britons who have made up their minds to live elsewhere in the world, does permanently leaving Britain make them less British? If Harry residing in North America diminishes his Britishness, why can't the same be said for this man, Brian Harrison, originally from Bridgend in Wales, who wants to reduce the level of tourism in Tenerife?
Well, let's speak to Brian Harrison, who we saw there in that report, a British expat who's leading today's charge against tourism. You're blessed with living on a beautiful island with wonderful weather. Presumably that's what made you be an expat and go to live there in the first place. Why is the beef with the people who go there on holiday and are drawn there just in the way you were?
It's not the beef with the people coming here, it's the sheer amounts, the volume of people. When I arrived at the island in 1991, there were maybe 2 million tourists a year. Now this number's gone up to over 6 million a year. And for an island with a limited space, it's unsustainable. This is the issue.
This man considers Tenerife his home, where he's been living for over 30 years, and he's fully immersed in activism and the politics of what he believes in. No one is telling this man to keep his mouth shut or questioning his Britishness. But can you imagine the red mist that would descend on the UK tabloid media if Harry were to express the slightest opinion in regard to Californian or even US politics? They had already labelled him a traitor, and a simple change in address symbolises to them that Harry is definitely not coming back. Finally, UK tabloids, you finally got the message. But your level of intelligence has to be called into question if you took 4 years to realise this. And as we continue to talk about logic that is twisted, let's have a look at this guy, Simon Case, who was instrumental in Harry and Meghan ultimately leaving the UK because he had a significant role in drafting the documentation with regard to Harry's security. And when you consider that this guy was called out for allowing racism to run rampant in the Cabinet Office, you can see why William would have chosen him as the perfect candidate to get his brother and his sister-in-law out. This article is from theexpress.co.uk, published on the 2nd of March 2024. I won't read the whole article, but the headline reads, Prince William's former aide helped Harry and Meghan Markle to quit the royal family. Simon Case worked as a private secretary for Prince William, with his role in Megxit being uncovered in Prince Harry's Home Office court case. Prince William's private secretary, Simon Case, helped to draft a key document about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle quitting the royal family, according to the judgment from Harry's court case, The Times has reported. This week, the Duke of Sussex lost out in the High Court to the Home Office after a judge ruled that Harry's loss of taxpayer-funded security while in the UK should remain in place. A 51-page document from the court case exposed Mr. Case's role in Megxit, which saw the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announce their decision to step down from royal duties in January 2020. The documents show that Mr. Case authored a paper on behalf of the firm which set out the framework for their departure, with the family meeting at Sandringham to discuss the move. Given that Mr. Case was so close to arranging Prince Harry's departure from royal life and worked so closely alongside William, there are fears this will not help to rebuild the relationship between the warring brothers. Members of the royal household also sat on RAVEC, Royal and VIP Executive Committee, the body that decides which security provisions should be made for members of the family. An insider told The Times Simon Case wasn't always on RAVEC, but at this time he was there to do a job for the royal household as an institution. Very few people know the amount of delegated power the household wields on RAVEC. Case was a professional technocrat with a gift for navigating the awkward nitty-gritty of a situation and getting a desired result. A spokesperson for Prince Harry said he would appeal the High Court's decision, as they said, the Duke is not asking for preferential treatment, but for a fair and lawful application of RAVEC's own rules, ensuring that he receives the same consideration as others in accordance with RAVEC's own written policy. Look at this guy. When you give these people a little bit of power, it goes to their head. Now, how can the firm expect Harry to come back into this dirty, toxic environment which is swirling with creatures like this? I will say it, I'll continue to say it. Harry and Meghan made the right decision for so many reasons. For their physical health, for their mental health, for the safety and security of not just them, but for their children. You can see how these guys thrive in the environment they're in now. To come back to the UK would be totally detrimental, because you've got characters like this, authorized by Harry's own brother. And you wonder why the monarchy is in the state it is in 2024. Almost a year and a half after its initial release, Harry's memoir Spare continues to generate passive income, with the Daily Mail reporting £22 million in sales so far. Meghan hasn't been twiddling her thumbs either. The marketing strategy she adopted this week by sending 50 sets of her American Riviera orchard jam to well-known public figures and influencers has been all over social media without her saying a word publicly. However, this appears to have inadvertently attracted attention of a different kind. This article is from thestandard.co.uk, published yesterday, Thursday, the 18th of April 2024. The headline reads, website using Meghan's lifestyle brand name links to fundraiser for UK Food Bank. A link to a donation page supporting the Trussell Trust also features a message backing the Princess of Wales. a UK domain name for the Duchess of Sussex's new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, is directing to a page fundraising for a UK food bank network and a message supporting the Princess of Wales. Meghan's US site is americanrivieraorchard.com, but the homepage of americanrivieraorchard.uk reads in capitals, "Forgiveness, permission. Please donate to the Trussell Trust." Now, before I continue with the rest of this article, I'm not going to read the entire thing. I just wanted to make a point about these domain names. Okay, so the official domain name is actually americanriviera.com. Meghan has bought americanrivieraorchard.com as well, which points back to americanriviera.com. Those of you who are tech savvy, you'll understand what I mean. Now, this americanrivieraorchard.uk is not a popular domain name here. It's usually .co.uk. People have been saying that Meghan missed a trick by not buying a .co.uk or a .uk domain name. My question is, why should she? The UK is not her target market. She lives in the US, which has a far larger population. Why would she target a market which does not like her? Does that make any business sense to anyone? Even if you're not business minded, that makes no sense at all. Another aspect of twisted logic. I shall continue reading the rest and then come back with further commentary. A donate to the Trussell Trust link brings up a Just Giving page with a target of £1,000, which reads, "Not Meghan, hope Meghan wouldn't mind, thoughts with Catherine." The link has already received a flurry of donations expressing praise for Kate and the Trust, with messages such as, "We stand with Catherine and just love what you did here." The Prince of Wales returned to work on Thursday as he visited a food distribution charity, Surplus to Supper, his first official engagements, I guess that should read engagement, since Kate revealed her cancer diagnosis to the nation. The Trussell Trust supports a nationwide network of food banks providing emergency food and support to people facing hardship, and campaigns for change to end the need for food banks in the UK. The anonymous Just Giving page added, "We can create a future where nobody goes hungry because nobody will allow it when we work together for change." Sophie Carey, Director of Public Engagement at the Trussell Trust, said, "The Trussell Trust are grateful to people who put their time and energy into supporting our work to end the need for food banks in the UK. The charity is not connected with this website domain and have no knowledge of who set it up." So, is this what the detractors have had to resort to now? Begging for online donations for a food bank by stealing a concept created by a woman they cannot stand? In 21st century Britain, how does it make sense to use underhand tactics to try to acquire donations for those who can't afford to buy food in the name of the next British Queen, who could literally auction one of her outfits to feed dozens and dozens of families? The originators and supporters of this stunt are no doubt giving each other a high five. But isn't it ironic that they couldn't possibly generate traffic to their Just Giving page without Meghan? And do you know what the other irony is? If Meghan knew the end result was that people were actually being fed, I don't even think she'd have any objection. So these, ladies and gents, are just a few examples of pretzel logic on full display in what is laughingly referred to as Great Britain. I don't have that much more to add, except to say while the conspirators are working overtime, plotting, scheming, and conjuring up new ways to bring this couple down. And despite the media telling you that Netflix don't get on with Harry and Meghan, is it logical to say that when these guys have just been commissioned to produce a couple of new shows they're working on at the moment? Harry's book continues to sell like hotcakes. Meghan has just launched her first product on her new lifestyle brand. A lifestyle brand that certain people wanted to hijack because, as I said, they can't seem to generate any momentum or any traffic to any web page without Meghan's name. While they're doing that, Harry and Meghan continue to create employment for many people. They continue to impact positively the lives of thousands, and they are adding to the US economy. What they're not doing is taking money from your pocket. Think about that. And while you're doing that, if your other thoughts were provoked in any way, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you shall catch me in the next video.